So this is really unscripted, and I'm not going to edit this very much at all. The idea really is I just wanted to have a little segment of this channel where I could perhaps just talk to an imaginary person, I suppose, who, you know, I think back to myself when I was a kid, 11, 12, 13 years old, that sort of age, and I really just had this burning ambition and desire to be a military pilot. And I wish really that I had, you know, back then, I wished that I'd had some kind of guide or mentor or someone that could have, you know, given me all the top tips and ideas, you know, that I probably would have helped me through flying training and made me, you know, get to those various key stages throughout my career, or perhaps in the early part of my career, certainly, with a bit more ease. I suffered a lot from perhaps overconfidence, which set me back a little bit. But anyway, enough of that. Let's just perhaps go back to the idea of KSA, so knowledge, skills and attitudes. 3 things: knowledge, skills and attitudes. And certainly in the military and probably in other aviation environments, or in fact any kind of professional world really, you'll be, you know, anybody going through a period of training and assessment, and anyone that's being monitored, they'll probably have those kind of 3 basic criteria onto which you know, you'll be assessed. And it's a good idea, I think, if you're a youngster with an ambition and with desire to do something. I think it's a good idea to sort of get your head around those 3 things. They're 3 supporting concepts. So let's think about each one in turn before we move on to the basic thrust of what I want to talk about today. You know, knowledge. What is knowledge? It's what you know about a particular subject or a particular field, whatever it might be, whatever industry you want to go in. It's your knowledge. So knowledge is what you're going to pick up at university, at school, you know, perhaps in youth organisations, whatever it might be. You then got skills. Now skills are, you know, something that most people have to learn. If you think about it, a baby being born into the world has got no skills at all, and slowly they learn to walk, and then they learn to talk, and then they get more dexterous with fingers, and they can start manipulating, you know, toys and equipment, and later on that turns into knives and forks, tools, whatever it might be. So you learn skills. You're not born with them really at all. You have to learn your skills throughout the various phases and stages of your life. And then the final one is attitude, and really attitude is the one that I want to talk about today, and will also be the focus probably of the first few episodes in this sort of knowledge, skills and attitudes segment. And I think attitude is really important. It's the one thing that I probably got wrong when I was younger, and that's why I mentioned that I wish I had some kind of mentor. So today, what I want to talk about really is wanting it, desire, ambition. You know, lots of people want to be things. They want to be a professional footballer, they want to be a pilot, they want to be an astronaut, they want to be a racing car driver, they want to be a doctor, they want to be a vet. Lots of things that people want to do. And 2 things happen invariably. Either they make the right choices and they go on and achieve those ambitions, or they're possibly deterred because other people, perhaps with the wrong attitude, try and tell them you can't do it, it's too difficult, or you're not entitled to it, or it's not something that you're born to do, or whatever it might be. And, you know, attitude, therefore, as a youngster, I think it's the one thing that you've got. You've not had much time to build up your knowledge. You know, you've still got a lot of your schooling and education ahead of you, or perhaps if you're a little bit older, you might have college or university ahead of you. You know, you've not had a chance to build up your knowledge. And certainly, if we're talking in the context of aviation, you've not had a chance to build up your skills either. You've not learned to fly an aeroplane or fly a helicopter or whatever it is that you're going to do. So attitude is the one thing that you've got at the moment out of those 3 things. You don't have knowledge, you don't have skills, you've got attitude though. So attitude can start building your knowledge and start building possibly even your skills, and we'll talk about that in a few sort of episodes' time. So what I want to talk about today is attitude and wanting it. What is it? When people say, I want to be a pilot or I want to be a footballer, what is it that they actually want? What do you actually want? If you're watching this and you're thinking, yeah, I want to do that, what does he actually want? Now, let me talk about my experience. I remember when I was a kid, I'd never flown in an aeroplane. I wasn't fortunate enough as a kid to go on holidays abroad from the UK, so I never used to fly. Didn't fly an aeroplane at all until I was 13, but certainly from the age of probably 10, 11, 12, that sort of age, I had a burning, desperate ambition to be a pilot. I really wanted to be a fast jet pilot in the Royal Air Force, which never came true in the end, but I got pretty close to it in various ways. And where did that ambition come from? I used to see low-flying fast jets, and I got fascinated. I loved it. I found it thrilling. I really, I can't describe how exciting I thought it was to see aircraft flying overhead. And it was certainly in an era as well when low-flying aircraft were commonplace. I don't think we see them quite so much now, but back in the 80s, it was still the Cold War. We had lots of military hardware, and military fast jet guys were practicing all the time, so we saw them all the time. And that got me interested in aviation. I then started getting aviation magazines, and I started went to the Air Cadets and all those sorts of things. And I still had never flown an airplane, but I really had an ambition. And I think for some people, and I think this is possibly a key point to take away, for some people, you don't choose what you want to do, it chooses you. And I think that might sound a bit, I don't know, it might sound a bit naff, it might sound a bit fanciful, or possibly cliche, but I do think that for many people, you have a calling. And if that is your calling, whatever it is, then you need to harness that drive and that ambition that's been put into you, and make sure that you attach to it other aspects, learning, skills, knowledge, and building all those aspects. So anyway, what is it you want? As a fast jet pilot, do you want to fly an airplane? Do you want to be in the military? Do you think it's cool and it's going to make you attractive to other people? Do you think it's going to give you lots of money? Do you think it's glamorous? Is it something your parents want you to do? Do you think it's going to be cool in front of your friends? They're all reasons, and I'm not going to say they're wrong reasons, but there are some reasons that are better than others, and there are some reasons that will be sustainable and will, of course, carry you through for the next few years, however long it takes. But make sure you're choosing to do what you want to do for the right reason. And for me, it was the thrill, awe and wonder of being in and around airplanes, pure and simple. And that was they were completely selfish reasons, and that's what got me there, I think. Got me to where I want to be. I wasn't doing it because I wanted to make my mum and dad happy, or because I thought it would be cool or make me attractive. So, first thing, know why you want to do it and have really good, strong reasons for why you want to do it, and make sure that those reasons are sustainable. And then sort of the second key point really that I want you to sort of perhaps understand, there is no such thing as natural talent or natural ability. Absolutely no way. Forget it. If anyone's told you that that's the case, it's just not true. A big part of my life when I'm not flying is music. I love playing music. I'm a very keen guitarist. I kind of hang around with other musicians. I know a couple of other professional musicians. I go and see live music. I follow live music. I follow these musicians online, and they will all say the same thing. They will all say that they're not talented. In fact, if you tell them, gosh, aren't you talented, you'll probably upset them, because they will turn around and say, no, I'm not talented. I put in the work. I put in the effort, put in the time, doing all the things that were required to get them to that level. Theory, practice, practice routines, playing with other people, whatever it might be. They did it to get themselves there. They weren't born natural musicians, and that's the same for anything. You've got to understand that there's no such thing as natural aptitude. So, for anyone that may be doubting themselves, take heart. it's about how you apply yourself and what you choose to do in the early years, really, which will get you to where you want to be. So that's a key thing to understand, I think. And then that leads on really to the sort of final thing that I want to say is, if you're a youngster looking at this and you're thinking, yeah, I want to be a pilot, I want to be a military pilot, I want to be a helicopter pilot, I want to be a fast jet pilot, or something else, you might want to be a professional musician, you might want to be an astronaut, whatever it might be. Are you practicing right now? Are you doing activities that will build some associated skills for what you want to do? Now, you might think, how on earth can I practice being a helicopter pilot when I'm 13, 14 years old? Well, no, you can't. But there are lots of things you can do that will put you in a good position when it comes to selection, when it comes to having an understanding of how to learn a new skill, or how to take criticism in a positive kind of way, or whatever it may be. Lots of things to talk about there, and I'm going to follow those up in the next episode, and I'm going to talk more about what you can do now to practice and build your knowledge, skills and attitudes for whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, I hope that's useful. It's just a bit of a rambling. I've got a cup of tea here. I'm here in my kitchen. I doubt very much that I will edit this video very much. It is just supposed to be a chat. Hopefully it's useful and just a little bit motivational. Please add comments below and I will answer any questions that people have got. And also, if there's something that you want me to talk more about, then let me know and I'll put it into another video. Okay, thanks very much. Take care. See you next time.